The championship arena in Newport Beach buzzed with pre-tournament energy. Crews adjusted lighting rigs, vendors set up merchandise booths, and staff members rushed through final preparations for the PPA Tour Finals. This was the biggest event of the season, and everyone wanted everything perfect. Into this chaos walked a teenage girl. She was dressed simply in black athletic leggings and a loose gray sweatshirt, her hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. She carried a paddle bag over one shoulder and walked with quiet confidence toward the players' entrance. The security guard at the gate barely glanced at her before raising his hand. "Hold it, where do you think you're going?" "Players' entrance," she said calmly. "I'm competing today." The guard looked her up and down, his expression shifting from bored to amused. He was a large man, mid-40s, with a clipboard tucked under his arm and an attitude that suggested he'd seen everything. "Competing," he laughed. "Kid, this is the PPA Tour Finals, professional players only, not a junior camp." The girl didn't flinch. "I know what it is. I'm a professional player." Another staff member, a woman in a tournament polo, walked over. She had a headset dangling around her neck and an air of self-importance. "What's the holdup?" The guard gestured toward the teenager. "This one thinks she's playing today, probably snuck in trying to get autographs or something." The woman's eyes swept over the girl's plain clothes and worn paddle bag. She smirked. "Sweetie, the autograph booth is on the other side of the arena. This area is restricted to athletes and staff only." "I'm not here for autographs," the girl said, her voice still patient. "My name is Leigh Waters. I'm seated number 1 in singles today." Both staff members exchanged glances, then burst out laughing. The guard shook his head. "Number 1 seed? Sure, kid, and I'm Roger Federer. Nice try, but you need to leave before I call real security." The woman added with a condescending smile, "Look, I've worked these events for years. I know what professional athletes look like. They don't show up in sweatshirts looking like they just rolled out of bed." "My clothes don't determine my skill," Leigh replied quietly. The guard stepped closer, using his size to intimidate. "Listen, I don't have time for this. You're holding up the line. Either show me credentials or get out." "My credentials are in the system, if you just check." "I'm not checking anything," he cut her off. "I've been doing this job for 15 years. I know a faker when I see one." By now, a small crowd had gathered. Other staff members watched curiously. A few early arriving fans paused to see what was happening. Someone pulled out a phone and started recording. The woman in the polo crossed her arms. "You know what I think? I think you bought a cheap paddle bag online and thought you could waltz in here pretending to be someone important. Well, it's not going to work." Leigh's jaw tightened slightly, but her composure remained intact. "I'm not pretending to be anyone. I am who I say I am." The guard grabbed her arm. "That's it. You're out." "Don't touch me," she said firmly, pulling her arm back. "Or what?" he laughed. "You'll hit me with your paddle? Call your mommy?" The crowd stirred. A few people gasped. One man muttered, "This is getting out of hand." But the staff members didn't care. They were too caught up in their own authority, too blind to see what was standing right in front of them. Leigh took a deep breath. "I'm going to ask one more time. Please check your system for my name. Leigh Waters." The woman rolled her eyes, but pulled out a tablet, more to prove a point than anything else. Her fingers moved lazily across the screen. Then she froze. Her face went pale. Her eyes widened. She looked at the screen, then at the teenager, then back at the screen. "Oh my God," she whispered. The guard frowned. "What? What is it?" The woman's voice trembled. She's Leigh Waters, the number 1 seed, multiple-time national champion. She's also," her voice cracked, "she's also the primary investor in this tournament." "What?" "The Waters Family Foundation. They funded the entire prize pool this year. Her family is one of the main sponsors. She could literally have us all fired." The silence that followed was deafening. The security guard's smirk vanished. The color drained from his face. The crowd that had gathered began to whisper, phones raised higher now, capturing every moment. Leigh stood quietly, her expression unchanged. "As I said, I'm competing today." The guard stammered. I didn't know. You looked so, you were dressed like what?" Leigh asked, her voice calm but cutting. "Like a teenager? Like someone who doesn't belong here?" Neither of them could answer. But tournament director rushed over, having been alerted by the commotion. He was a well-dressed man in his 50s, and his face was already red with panic. "Miss Waters, I just heard. I am so incredibly sorry. This is completely unacceptable." Leigh turned to him. "You're sorry because you found out who I am. But what about all the other young athletes who get treated this way? The ones who don't have sponsors or titles? What happens to them?" The director opened his mouth but found no words. Leigh addressed the growing crowd, her voice clear and steady. "I'm 17 years old. I've been playing pickleball since I was 7. I've won championships that most players twice my age only dream of. And today, I was told I don't belong here, not because of my record, not because of my skill, but because of how I looked." She paused, letting her words sink in. "I wore a sweatshirt. I didn't bring an entourage. I didn't announce myself with cameras and sponsors' logos. I just walked in like any other player. And because of that, I was mocked, I was grabbed, I was called a faker." The woman in the polo was now crying silently, her face buried in her hands. The security guard looked like he wanted to disappear. Leigh continued, "My family invested in this tournament because we believe in this sport. We believe in giving opportunities to players of all backgrounds. But if the staff at our own sponsored event treats people this way, what message does that send?" The director nodded frantically. "You're absolutely right. We'll conduct a full review. This will never happen again." "It shouldn't happen at all," Leigh said. "Not to me, not to anyone." She turned to face the security guard directly. "You told me I don't belong here. You laughed at me. You grabbed my arm. Do you understand now how wrong that was?" The guard's voice cracked. "I'm sorry. I have a daughter your age. If someone treated her like I treated you," he couldn't finish. Leigh nodded slowly. "Then remember this moment. Remember how it feels to be wrong about someone. And the next time a young player walks through these gates, looking nervous, maybe dressed in old clothes, maybe without a fancy bag, remember that they might be the next champion. Or they might just be someone who loves this sport. Either way, they deserve respect." The crowd erupted in applause. Not just the fans, but other staff members, players who had gathered to watch, even the vendors who had paused their setup. The woman in the polo finally spoke, her voice shaking. "Miss Waters, I'm so sorry. I was so wrong." "Please, I'll do anything to make this right." Leigh looked at her. "The way to make it right is to treat the next person better. That's all I ask." The director stepped forward. "Miss Waters, I want you to know that these employees will face disciplinary action. We take this extremely seriously." Leigh raised her hand. "I don't want anyone fired because of me." The crowd murmured in surprise. She continued, "Firing them won't fix the problem. It'll just replace them with someone else who might do the same thing. What I want is training. I want every single person who works at tournaments funded by our foundation to understand that respect isn't optional, it's required, for everyone, regardless of age, appearance, or status." The director nodded solemnly. "It will be done. You have my word." Leigh picked up her paddle bag and slung it over her shoulder. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a championship to win." She walked through the players' entrance, the crowd parting for her like a wave. As she passed, people whispered words of admiration. "That's incredible. She's only 17. That's what a real champion looks like." An older player, a veteran of the tour, approached her near the locker room. "Leigh, that was one of the most powerful things I've ever seen. You handled that with more grace than most adults ever could." Leigh smiled faintly. "My mom always told me, you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat people who can't do anything for them. Those staff members thought I was nobody. They showed me who they really were." The veteran nodded. "And you showed them who you really are. Not just a champion on the court, but a champion in character." Anna Leigh's mom, Leigh Waters, met her outside the locker room. She had heard everything. "I'm proud of you, baby," Leigh said, pulling her daughter into a hug. "Not because you stood up for yourself, but because you stood up for everyone else who's ever been in that position." "Someone has to," Anna Leigh replied. "Might as well be someone who can actually make a difference." That afternoon, Anna Leigh Waters walked onto the championship court. The arena was packed. The crowd roared when her name was announced. But the loudest cheers came from the staff members watching from the sidelines, the same ones who had witnessed her quiet dignity hours earlier. The security guard was there too, standing near the back. He didn't cheer, he just watched, his expression a mixture of shame and respect. He would never forget this day. He would never make the same mistake again. Anna Leigh won the championship in straight sets, 11-3, 11-5. Dominant, unstoppable. But when reporters asked her about the match, she didn't talk about her serves or her footwork. She talked about respect. "Every person who walks into an arena deserves to be treated with dignity," she said, looking directly into the camera. "Young or old, famous or unknown, dressed up or dressed down, we're all human. We all deserve kindness." The clip went viral within hours. Social media exploded with hashtags, "Respect every player," "Wrong girl," "Anna Leigh Waters." Sports commentators called it a masterclass in leadership. Parents shared the story with their children. Schools played the video in assemblies. But for Anna Leigh, the numbers didn't matter. What mattered was the message. And somewhere, a young player in old clothes would see that video. They would see a 17-year-old champion stand up for them. And they would know, without a doubt, that they belonged. Because belonging isn't determined by what you wear, it's determined by who you are. And at 17 years old, Anna Leigh Waters had proven she was a champion in every sense of the word. If you believe respect should be given to everyone, type "respect" in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories about athletes who lead with heart.